All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Eric with Morse 4x4 Center again. We're dodging the rain here in South Florida, coming at you with another review. Today, we've got the Bushwhacker Pocket Style Fender Flares. Stay tuned. We're going to go over a review and give you our thoughts on these guys. Now, if you've been shopping around looking at all of Bushwhacker Fender Flares, you may have seen their flat style Fender Flares. Those Fender Flares give you additional tire clearance so you can run a larger tire with less lift. That's not quite the case with the extended coverage or the factory pocket style Fender Flares. They don't really give you that extra wheel gap, so just take that into consideration when you're choosing the size of tire and your lift. So I'm sure as soon as you clicked on this video, you noticed these awesome, huge Fender Flares we've got on Bob's Jeep here. These are the Bushwhacker Pocket Style Fender Flares. In particular, Bob is running the Max Coverage. Now, Bushwhacker also makes factory coverage Fender Flares as well in the pocket style, but these Max Coverage ones, they give you an additional 2 inches of tire coverage over your tire over the factory Fender Flares. I'm talking 11 3/4 inches in the front, and you get 6 3/4 inches of tire coverage in the rear. So that's 2 inches over factory. Now, why would you want to run something like this? Well, one, this is a huge visual upgrade to your Jeep. These things look super aggressive, and of course, with the bolts on the side, that is the classic Bushwhacker look. Now, also, if you're running bigger, wider tires and also wheels that have a smaller back spacing that stick out really far, the Max Coverage might be something you want to consider running because they give you that additional tire coverage. So one, it's going to protect your Jeep from getting mud, dirt, and grime all slung up across the side. And then also, depending on where you live, your local state laws and regulations may require you to have coverage over your tires if you've got that big wide tire or those wheels that push them out real far. Now, like all of other Bushwhacker's products, these are made out of their Thermoplastic 2000 TPO. So if you're in a very sunny environment or just anywhere, you can count on these Fender Flares staying black for the entire life of the Fender. So they'll look fresh, they'll look good year-round no matter what. As I said earlier, these are the Max Coverage Fender Flares we've got on Bob's Jeep. They add 2 inches of coverage over the tires in the front and the back. The pocket style Fender Flares also come in factory width, so 9.5 in the front, 4 3/4 in the rear. If you don't really have that big beefy tire, or when you put your wheels and tires on and they don't stick out past your factory Fender Flares, you might want to consider the factory coverage. They'll give you that awesome Bushwhacker look, but then they won't be hanging out so far, they'll actually make your wheels and tires look smaller than what they are. So just something to consider when you're looking at these Fender Flares. Now, as far as installation goes on both the factory coverage and Max Coverage pocket Fender Flares, there is going to be some drilling involved and a little bit of cutting and trimming of the body, as well as if you choose to retain the factory wheel well liners, you will have to trim those as well. So installation, while it's still fairly simple, there is a couple of extra higher level modifications you'll have to do. And of course, with the side marker over here, you do have to splice into the factory harness. So keep that in mind. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and rate these a 2 out of 3 on our mall crawler scale of difficulty when it comes to installation. And before we cut this video, I did forget to mention that the hardware you see on the exterior of these Fender Flares, they are stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about them rusting. Again, with the UV protection and the stainless hardware, they are going to be looking fresh year-round. You're going to have an awesome, aggressive-looking Jeep with these Flares. So to briefly summarize up the pocket-style Fender Flares, you've got these like you see on Bob's Jeep. He's got the Max Coverage, that real aggressive styling, the exposed hardware, classic Bushwhacker look, except they give you an additional 2 inches of coverage over the top of their tire. And then Bushwhacker has the factory coverage, so same width as your stock Fender Flares, just with the same great styling that Bushwhacker is known for. All in all, we really love these Fender Flares. They make a great visual enhancement to your Jeep. So definitely something to consider if you're looking to upgrade the appearance of your vehicle. Now, don't forget, if you guys have any questions whatsoever about these Fender Flares, be sure to give us a call and speak to one of our Jeep experts at 1-877-553-5337. And if you can't call us, drop us a line, sales@morse4x4center.com. Now, of course, you can see these Fender Flares as well as Bushwhacker's other products right on our website, www.morris4x4center.com. Now, of course, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We post tons of content daily you do not want to miss out on. And of course, sign up for our mailing list on our website, where you can be the first to receive all the latest discounts and promotions and all the sales that we run throughout the year, as well as stay up to date on all the Morris news, all of our product demonstrations and gear reviews that we do as well. I thank you so much for watching this video. My name's Eric. I'm with Morris 4x4 Center, and I hope to see you guys out on the trail.